It takes a special kind of player to do this to Mbappe at the age of 18. This is Leny Yoro, the new Manchester United signing. Big money for big potential. There is a reason why Real Madrid were after the Frenchman. He has all the tools needed to become one of the best center backs in the world. It's a lot of money, but that's the price of talent. United made a similar investment in a center back years ago when they signed Rio Ferdinand for a record-breaking fee of £30 million. Safe to say that was a good investment considering Rio developed into one of the best center backs in the world while helping United win multiple trophies. The best United teams have always had a top level center back, whether it was Rio, Vidic, or Jaap Stam. If you want to win titles, you need good defenders. Yoro is a statement signing from Ineos, a top level player signed early in the transfer window instead of overpaying for a panic signing at the end of August. In the past years, United signings have been bad, but with new management, United are behaving like a normal club and headed in the right direction. They have a strategy, a vision, and Yoro is a big part of it. Many will see the €62 million price tag for a player with 1 year left on his contract who is so young and shake their head. It's a large fee, but as Yoro's previous manager Paulo Fonseca said, players don't have age if they have talent.
He is fantastic. As young centre-backs go, just brilliant. It has pretty much every tool in the locker.
For the past 2 seasons, Yoro has been widely considered one of the best young prospects and central defenders in world football. It's why he was considered the Kylian Mbappe of defenders. He debuted with the Lille reserve team in 2022 and quickly signed a professional contract with the club on the 10th of January 2022. He made his professional debut at just 16 years old against Nice on the 14th of May 2022. That made him the second youngest Lille player to debut for the French club, overtaking Eden Hazard. Him being from Lille should actually give Manchester United fans a lot of optimism because their academy has produced a lot of great players. The Lille academy has produced Eden Hazard, Franck Ribéry, Yohan Cabaye, and many other top players. Yoro had been at the club since the age of 11. According to Fonseca, the plan at the time was just to have Yoro for preseason, but after just 2 days, the Portuguese manager realized how talented the Frenchman was and that he could immediately make an impact. Next season, he became a permanent member of the squad, named to play in the 2022-2023 Ligue season. On the 17th of September, Yoro made his first ever professional start in a 2-1 home win against Toulouse. Fonseca spoke very highly of him after the match, praising his maturity. The maturity of Yoro has been highlighted in a lot of the articles that I've read about him, which makes sense because if you're going to be starting at the heart of defense as just a teenager, that's one of the biggest qualities you need to have. Lille were so stacked in the center back position with Jose Fonte, Thiago Jallo, and Alexandro, but Yoro was so good that he still appeared in 13 league games, including 8 starts and a total of 750 minutes. According to Jonathan Johnson, a Paris-based French football specialist, Yoro had become top of the list among defensive prospects in France. The French saw a lot of parallels between Yoro and Raphael Varan. They both showed very early that they were ready to make a big step up, with Varan joining Real Madrid from Lens at 18. United unfortunately didn't get to experience prime Varan, but whenever he was healthy, he played very well. So the comparisons are a huge compliment, both tall, lanky defenders who have superb timing and precision when it comes to tackling. Standing at 6'3", Yoro is imposing and fast, making it very difficult to get around his long legs. He covers ground super quick, with one scout even telling The Athletic that Yoro reminded him a lot of young Rio Ferdinand. In the 2024 season, Yoro became a full-time starter as a right center back and played 32 of 34 Ligue 1 matches. He was the second most used player with a total of 3,690 minutes in all competitions at just only 18 years old. No outfield player had started more games for Lille than Yoro, as the club was pushing for Champions League qualification. On the 24th of August 2023, Yoro scored his first goal for the club in the first leg of the Conference League playoff round. A month later, he scored his first Ligue 1 goal for Lille with a volley in a 2-2 draw against Rennes. He also opened up the scoring against Toulouse in November of 2023. In April of 2024, Yoro had started and played every single minute across both legs against Aston Villa in the UEFA Conference League quarterfinals. That's how much faith Fonseca had in the young Frenchman, that in such an important European competition match, he couldn't afford to risk not having Yoro in the squad. He couldn't sub him out, he couldn't swap him with someone else, he played every single minute. Lille ended up finishing 4th that season, meaning that they will play in the 2024-2025 Champions League qualifying phase and playoff round. Yoro was a massive part of their domestic success. He was nominated for the 2023-2024 Ligue 1 Young Player of the Year. Just look at him bullying Mbappe off the ball. That's an 18-year-old taking the ball off the best player in the league, arguably the best player in the world like he was a child. According to studies published in October of 2023, Yoro was the second defender to win the most duels among all players in Europe that season, winning 89% of his defensive duels. He was also the best player under 23 in defensive ground duels won. That's due to his speed and aggressiveness as seen in the match against PSG, keeping up with the speed of Mbappe and then perfectly timing his tackle. Alongside Virgil van Dijk, Yoro was the only defender across all European leagues to be both a top 10% player in defensive duel success rate and top 10% in aerial duel success rate. As of March 2024, Yoro was also one of the Ligue 1 best passing players with a total of 1,537 passes made, the 7th in the league across all positions, and a completion rate of 92.3%. He is young, so that part of his game will develop, but for now, when he does partner Lisandro Martinez, Lisandro is going to be the one responsible for playing those progressive passes that can carve a midfield open. At Lille, that was often Alexandro, the Brazilian, who made the more progressive passes, took more risks. Yoro's stats being very similar to Van Dijk is a great indicator that he will be an excellent defender. In fact, the Frenchman can have a very similar impact for United, just like what Van Dijk did for Liverpool. Nobody ever talks about the fee for Van Dijk because he was so good. He had such a large impact on Liverpool that the fee is irrelevant. Yoro can have a similar impact. It might just take a few more years because Yoro is much younger than Van Dijk's age when he moved to Liverpool, but that's what good central defenders can do. They can anchor the entire back line and really transform a club from being good to true title contenders. Considering United's defensive issues, Yoro can be the missing puzzle piece, and if he's able to fix that, then no one's going to care that people paid 62 million euros for him. Injuries were a huge issue for United last season. The preferred partnership of Lisandro Martinez and Varan never got to play together consistently. When they did play, they were good, but it was far and few. Ten Hag was forced to play 14 different center back combinations, with one of those combos being 36-year-old Johnny Evans alongside Casemiro. Yoro, meanwhile, was much better than all 5 of United's center backs last year. With Yoro, United are basically getting a younger and healthier version of Raphael Varan. By the time Varan had gone to United, he had put so many minutes on his body that he was just beginning to crash down. Meanwhile, Yoro is only 18 years old with no injury history. He probably won't start every single game, but what makes him so good is that he's already good enough now to play first team football, but he has an even bigger ceiling when it comes to his potential. This is why United were so adamant on getting him no matter what. They had to beat the likes of Real Madrid, Liverpool, and PSG to sign him, but it was a statement signing. Obviously, a big part of why they were able to get him was that they were willing to pay more than the likes of Real Madrid, and there were even rumors circulating around that Lille essentially told Yoro that, hey, if you don't take this offer, we might not play you for an entire year. But regardless, United got their guy. And now they're spending big money on an 18-year-old that pretty much the entire world wanted, as opposed to spending big money like they did on Maguire. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's going to take time for Yoro to develop after moving to a new country and league. Players always talk about how the speed of the Premier League takes some getting used to. He is also going to come across better players and better teams. He's going to have to deal with Haaland, Salah, Doku. But he did show against Mbappe that he's ready to battle against the best players. I think he will adjust quickly. His development at Lille was already crazy for just 2 seasons. His positioning and timing improved right away as he played more senior football. He is young, so he's still figuring out how to use his body. Ligue is a pretty physical league as well, so it's not like it's going to be something brand new to him. As a young defender, he's going to be prone to mistakes. At Lille, for example, he gave away a penalty against Metz in December. Even in a win against Marseille, there were moments where his positioning was off. Mistakes happen all the time for defenders, especially for young ones as they learn to read the game. You already know at some point in the season, Yoro's going to make a mistake or cost a goal, and people are going to come back to this video. The point isn't that he's not going to make mistakes, it's just about adapting and learning from those errors. This is a signing for the future, a player who has the potential to anchor a title-winning defense. The best United teams always had a top-level center back. It's the key to any title-winning team, but especially this United team that was missing a defender with real potential. They had Manu in midfield, they had Garnacho up front, but they didn't have a defender in the same timeline with a high ceiling, and now they got him. But there's bigger issues than just the defense if United want to get back to their winning ways. What are the issues? How do they solve them? What needs to be done for United to get back to that level they used to be at? I outlined it all in this video right here.